Alright, so hey guys, I tried to do it using OBS, but I have no idea how to fucking use that software yet, so anyway, let's get back into this. It's currently the 31st of May, 6:22 p.m. Basically, we left off, they had, our character had just started learning about the ether, and how to, like, go into it and try and find things and all that. He's basically learning magic, which, yeah, obviously. Before I get into this, I just want to recommend this really, really good manga that I read. It's called Inside Mari, and I don't know how. I don't remember what the manga's name is. It's like Oshimi something. I don't know. He also wrote Flowers of Evil, Happiness, and Trail of Blood. If that gives you an idea, really fucking good, really good. And yeah, I read it in like very fast. It's only about 80 chapters, but it's fucking great. Anyway, let's get into this. When you're traveling and have to spend most of the day walking, boredom sets in sooner or later. Just a clear, pretty sky above, low hills and mountains, plains, birds, ponds, few signs of civilization, and even fewer strangers on the road, all brief, momentary distractions. Sharing the journey with others is a blessing. An occasional glance of words keeps you grounded and strengthens your resolve to push on. Bond you to your friends, helping everyone get there in high spirits and good health. Though you must take care of your stamina as well. Conservation is tempting, but it stills your breath. There's a balance. You must keep sane and stay in fine fettle. I was not balanced. Alan's lesson had opened up a new world to me. It was like I had been born again as an old soul in a new body. My head was straining itself, trying to use these new sense-making faculties. Getting easier. Thoughts that were once rigid were now relaxed. Looked at Alan and Jimsar, and I saw friends. My heart warmed knowing that I would not be alone on this perilous road. I felt so grateful to be with them. I like seeing him actually happy and not, oh, I'm Mr. Edgy Pants all the time. What's with that dopey look? Nothing. I am in a soft mood, but I cannot let him see it. He would understand the things I've experienced. How could he? I would understand it not until I felt this. Ether. Taking a step back, further. I can understand his perspective. There is a kind of joy in Jim Sar's naivete. You never know what you're missing if you're not even aware of the whole that exists within you. I'd like to change his mind, but he's too much disillusioned to lower his guard and risk the thought. Besides, people are seldom convinced by words. That's a fucking lie. I mean, yes, it's seldom. But people are very, very much swayed by words. Well, they are a lot of the time. I mean, just look at fucking, oh god, charismatic people. Words alone are enough to get people to trust them, and it's honestly scary. If he should ever walk down this path of mine, then he needs to see it for himself. All I can do is smile back and hope for our good luck. Jim Shar shook his head and rolled his eyes at Alan. Your mumbo-jumbo is taking its toll. His words are edged with thorns, but thorns are not hateful. As the evening turned up, the sun appeared to plunge faster and faster into the horizon. We were far away from any signs of habitation. Last time we saw a village, the sky was still all blue. The plain extends far and wide in each direction. Not much shelter to be found. A forest darkens on the eastern hill, but it is too far now the way to reach. Air is dry and still, catching an idle warmth. No river, no lake, no puddle. We need to search for water come morning. Bleak prospects for a good night's rest. Still, we need to make do with what we can. Our water skins will last until tomorrow. No sense fretting over misfortune. Alan shook his head. We have to stop here. Not a good place to set up camp. We need a spot out here. I know, we should have stopped at the last village. There's a brush over there. Jimsar sighed. Good enough. Ever since I left home, things have been getting rougher and rougher. Trend continues, though I enjoy the escape from routine. When your life hangs in the balance, all prospects, all your principles gain new values in relationships. Can't do much to save myself except go with the flow and hope for a new tomorrow. In Alan's eyes, it meant I had to learn magic because he believed my strange sigil could answer a few questions. I'm excited, though. My previous trance had disturbed me. I felt the need to return to it soon. Yeah, I didn't even mention how cool this is, that they actually have, like, the tents drawn. That's fucking great. Just the small attention to detail is so well received from me. I love it. I also know I need to pace myself. The old bear said as much, and I am keen to trust him. Tomorrow I will conquer that spell. This time I woke up first. I had sweat like a hog and heat all throughout the night. Knapsack I used as a pillow was damp on one side. Alan was laying down next to me under the large tarp we shared. His breathing was faint and scratchy. Waking up to him like this reminded me of Jonah at the worker camp. I wonder if he's still in Chariot. Crawled out from under the covers of my bedroll and from under the tarp, taking care not to ruffle the sheets too much. It was the earliest of mornings. The horizon had just started to glow pink. I grabbed my water skin and drank from it. Wind must have picked up right before I woke. It was a soothing breeze. The chill tickled my lips after I released the water skin. I looked at Jimsar, sleeping quietly under his own tarp a few feet away. His head pokes out under the sheet, breathing softly. It's so quiet and peaceful at this early hour, I wouldn't want to wake them yet. In my stupor, I resigned to just sit around and take in my surroundings, at least for a little while. Took in a deep breath and allowed myself to relax further. We were off the path and slightly hidden from view, having set up camp under a few wild bushes. Either way I looked, the road seemed to be absent of any strangers, not that you would expect to see anyone traveling this part at an early hour. This is good. I have some time to myself. Doing a little more than meditating should be in order. No, don't. Oh, okay, you're just going for a walk. I was about to say, don't you fucking dare. I strolled up and stood up and strolled out to the overgrowth away from the road. My hands swept through the tall blades of grass, feeling them cut and snag on the pads of my palm. Felt the sharp chill of dew with every touch until I reached into a patch of flatter ground. This is a good place. Let's try this again, Alex. Close my eyes, relax, push away reality, and delve. The void of sight obscured began to swell once more. Then utter darkness surrounds me. Not even the moonless and starless sky could be so completely black. Almost terrifying were it not so perfect and absolute. Like a canvas, I am free to do with this place as I wish. Time to get to work. Let's start out with the frame of reference. Hello, Alan. Alex, what do you think I should do? I want you to take it slow this time. You don't want to overdo it again. Yes, I remember. Let's paint the grass. You're getting the hang of this. Staring at me, seemed very pleased. All I have to do to make him happy is follow his instructions. Kindest teacher. Blessed to have him here trying to save my life. Oh, no, this is not Alan. This is just my imagination. I shouldn't let my own mind play tricks on me. With a wave of my imaginary hand, the mockery of the bear disappeared. Is it foolish to succumb to your own illusions? Is there value in playing with your own belief? Maybe that plays a part in making these things real. The side of this world I have to explore further. This is definitely an allegory for, like, writing and imagination. I mean, come on. Come on. Last time I was here, I followed a different rational path, and there is more to discover. Yes, this place is not a playground, but a field of purposeful labor. Like a laborer, I have a tool: your brain, your creativity, your imagination. Yep, this is about writing. Okay. My will. Like a brush, I mentally wield it and wave it across the space, carefully painting little clusters of meaning. Each mind stroke refines the image and makes it useful. Clusters grow, intermingle. They congeal and form into larger entities with solid foundations and sturdy cores with roots that reach into an analog reality. Trying to make a wisp again. Go away. Go away. Why should I? Do what you want me to do. I know. Why are you bothering me? I'm helping you. You're distracting me. I'm helping you, lad. Festering figment. Try to wave it away once more, but this time it stays there. Why can't I get rid of you? I gotta hold myself, better focus. Shoot, go away. That's no way to treat a friend. You're not real. Stop arguing with me and make that wisp. Try, but you keep interrupting me. Greater than my presence. This is weird. Okay. It's odd because, like Echo, Leo's whole, I imagined Chase the certain way that I liked him, and then it happened. It's that weird thing where if you believe too much in your own creation, it takes over you. That's such an interesting concept, I'm not going to lie. It's terrifying, but it's an interesting concept nonetheless. The idea that you could become so invested in your own creations that they take over you, it's spooky. It really is. Select all, delete, okay. I'm sorry, I'm just doing shit here. Right. I saw Alan conjures wisp once more, letting it float between us. The little flare taunts me. Alan taunts me. I don't think he does, but okay. He stares and waits, expecting me to impress him. Alright, Alex, seems like I have an audience. Let's try again. Call the entities I had built thus far, the essentials of flame. Light, fire, warmth. Weave the elements, use your power to transform the ether into the fundamental shapes of reality. Take the energy and focus it in that direction, arrange them into something useful. Yes, that is the path. I've been this way before and I took control of Alan's wisp. It's so much clearer now. I can travel down this road as I have before, yet now I can see so many bifurcations and crossroads. I can modify it. Mercy, there are so many possibilities. Much of the mind fog is lifted. Goals can be set and the paths will light up with my purpose. What's all this then? Totally from the trance. When I open my eyes, I find Alan and Jimsar facing me. Darn, Jimsar, you've ruined it. What the? Is he okay? Of course he's okay. Alex meditating like yesterday to try and improve. I don't know, he seemed pretty out of it this time. Alan rolled his eyes. Would you like to teach him instead? Look, we need to get going, alright? You guys can stop messing around with this stuff and focus on our mission. I swear this reality will become an archon before we a cure. Jim started turning head back to the camp. Sorry about that. I rubbed my temple, confused what just happened. Alan, I was in the trance. I know I was there with you. What do you mean? You were speaking to me. It must have been confusing for you to be in that position, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity. Gave him a fishy look. I wasn't trying to trip you up, I was helping you, truly. You see, when your mind pushes deep into the ether, having an anchor to the real world can help you manifest your magic. Bridge the two worlds, make it easier to translate your intentions into magic. That's why I spoke to you. Your voice is my anchor. Yes. Then our friend interrupted you. His voice pulled me out. When Jim Sar spoke, I felt like someone had thrown a bucket of water at my face. Alan's words, on the other hand, were carried with gentle undertones. Why didn't your voice interrupt me? Pervader voices have tricks to them. There are ways to speak to someone deep in the ether without breaking their trance. Eventually you will also learn that skill which will help you use your voice to cast spells, like the incantations you heard me do. It's a function we call echo. Very common skill, though you still need to do more before you get there. All in due time. I think I had it, though it was clear and there were so many places to go. Excellent, that's what I'd like to hear. She'll be able to impress in Vale Gheryon. That's all fine and dandy, we need to go before someone spots it. The sun is almost out. Fair enough. I'm watching me looking for us right now, though I can't help but feel a little bitter towards him for meditation. Jim Sar was hard at work packing everything up. Should help him. Stepped forward by Alan and pressed a hand on my shoulder and stopped me. He can finish up there. I want you to try again. But Jim Sar is right. We shouldn't waste our time on this right now. I can practice more at the sanctuary. So be quick, I promise. I darted upward. Wisp from earlier was floating above. I guess I didn't imagine it. He really did cast the spell. It's yours. Yes, I meant when you were busy. I know. I saw you do it. I want you to take control of it again. This time you're not going to enter the trance. Looked at him with a quirked brow. No trance. How am I supposed to do that? Before I asked you to close your eyes and explore your own head. The point of that was to strip away any distractions of the real world and let yourself sink into the ether. Yet we are still here, always connected to our physical experience, even though we have experiences beyond. Our minds pull on strings that make up the web of ether so that we can manifest magic. The web is not material, it's beyond everything material. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, what you're basically describing to me, Alan, is that this magic system is just imagination brought into reality. Like, there's no, innate power in the world that certain people have. It's just, the imagination realm is what causes Pervaders to have their powers. Which, that's cool. I do like that. It's definitely cool. Man, I wish I could read this. I guess I can later, but not right now. We're in the middle of this fucking and I can't just stop to read a 4-page document. I don't understand. How's that help me cast magic? You'll know what you need to look for now. The next trick you'll need to master is relying on your intuition to coax the ether instead of seeking it deliberately. You don't have to close your eyes to see. There are other senses you can rely on. Trust your own memory to guide you. How? These thoughts don't seem to make sense. My eyes are open. I mean, Gemstar pulled me out of it really quickly with just a word. How am I supposed to maintain concentration when reality keeps pulling me back? Just give it a try. You'll see, it's easier than you think. I'll take a few steps back and stood by, urging me with a smile. Okay, I'll do my best. I wonder how this works. Thought patterns I indulge in while I'm meditating are so awkward and alien. Ideas that appear rational in an alternate world but seem too vague and wishy-washy when I consider them now, as I'm fully aware of my surroundings. Just seeing the grass and Alan and the sky, all of those things remind me of how mundane everything can be. It feels wrong to see it and be reminded of it, but I'm trying to do something so extreme. Try to apply the mental process, shape the mind clay into something that resembles control, intention, and purpose. It's very odd. I feel like I'm trying to translate a language I've never seen or heard before. I can sense it. Through heavy concentration, I'm able to exert my will. It's not as powerful as when I have my eyes closed, but the sense is alive. It's so much weaker out here. Realization thunders through me as I remember just how powerful I felt before. It shakes me, almost makes me flinch. Allow the feeling to wash over me, through me. It takes a moment, and it passes. Now it is only an echo. It stays that way until another wave hits. This one is a different, yet familiar character. A small nudge stirs me. It takes a moment to realize I didn't actually touch anything. The sensation was entirely in my head, like an overindulged memory. A tickling chill crawls up my arms and legs, my neck, and reaches into my head. Then my eyes grow heavy and blurry, and my vision blackens and grays and becomes more vivid. It flashes and subsides. I look and see everything is normal, though I can't almost normal, though I can't quite place a difference. My hand, I lift up my face and look at it. 5 fingers my eyes do see, but I see 5 more glowing and growing like the branches of a tree. Suddenly I realize my arm is actually 2, one within the other, like wearing the thinnest glove in the world. Jerk my hand away, but the pair are separated. One is like a phantom. Our movements echo one another, yet I can feel their distinct natures. They are different. With one eye I see, with the other I drink in the shadow of all things raw. With one arm I touch, with the other I tug on the strings that puppet reality. That's creepy. Reflexively I reach out into the darkness and I grasp the thing that nudged me. The movement feels so real, yet my true body remains still. The discrepancy throws me off. For a moment I struggle, trying to keep my balance, unsure what is real and what is different. Threatens failure. Keep it together, Alex. I think this is the edge I have to ride, the place where spells can be coaxed. Yes, now I have it. Feel the warmth of that tiny orb in my hand. My inner eye can see it too. Wisp is mine, even though it's still floating up above. Their positions are superimposed, material and immaterial, touched by a mark of bonding of my own design. The little torch is in the grasp of my consciousness, its animation is subject to my whims. Haven't even moved it yet, but I can sense it as if I'm holding a leash. Oh, it lingers as basking in this feeling. It's not as exhilarating as last time. This is much more interesting. I'm starting to understand how it works. New lessons have been learned. It's mine. This time I realize I do not need to move. I let it control the wisp move with a limb that only exists in my head. The wisp swirls along to my thought commands as Alan follows it with his eyes. Good work, Alex. Dances much more nimbly, although almost as if it knows what I want it to do before I even think it. They say the hand is quicker than the eye, but the mind is supreme. You were right, it wasn't that difficult. You're doing it! Tom made it go up, his eyes were sure to follow. His enthrallment with the little torch almost made me feel like I cast a spell on him instead. I shared his joy and tried to entertain him, put in a little show of swirl and squiggles. Jim Sawyer was none too pleased, standing there in his sullen ways. He must think we're mad. It was funny, I thought, and explored a desire more to further test limits of control. All right, thank you, Alex, but that is enough. You can experiment some more with your skill, Gheryon. Yes, he's right. I want to do more experiments with this kind of magic, but I need to know where, I know where we need to get going. Start walking back to camp. Wisp is still there, so no reason to disappear. Not sure how long this could last, even how to get rid of them. Not sure if I can free myself from it. No sense wasting it, though. Bring the wisp in front of me and keep it there, guiding me like an escort. This yellow-orange light is so pretty. When will I figure out how to make my own? I think I nearly had it earlier. At least if Alan makes one of these, I can easily take control of them. Wouldn't even have to concentrate too much. Wonder if Pervaders find it rude to steal their wisps. Ha! Here's one more thing I want to do. Send the torch towards Alan. As he got close, he turned to notice what I was doing. Oh, you're giving it back? Nope, it's mine now. I'll do with what I want. Rolled his eyes and turned away again. I'm concerned that I was pushing the wisp into his body as he'd done to me the day before. Passed through his clothes and fur and reached inside his chest. Light inside him made him glow like a firefly. Alan's walking made things difficult. I needed to maintain concentration to keep the wisp moving along at its pace, else it would peek outside and ruin the glow. It's all about momentum. He picked up what I was doing and started wiggling around, making it hard on me. Hey, stop that. What's the matter? Can't keep up? Keep the little hands for a while longer. A few moments later, I began to feel silly. This didn't serve anything. I was acting like a child again. The Alan seemed to reflect my playfulness. Relaxed my mind and allowed the wisp to return to me. Make you feel strange? No, I don't feel much of it anymore. Once you practice magic a little bit, you'll become adjusted to it. Would Jim Sawyer feel it too? Well, why don't you try it? Oh, I love it. I love that there's actually humor. God, more VN needs to do it. Yeah, I can't talk. Christ. Jim's always leaning down with his back towards us, picking up his things. I could put the wisp inside him too, and be able to protest those too late. Wonder if this would make him feel any different about magic. Should I really ambush him with this experience? This minute clearly doesn't like magic. How upset would he be if I tried it? I asked if he wants to see. Probably not a good idea to surprise him like that. I'll try to convince him instead. I'm sorry. Brought the wisp between us. I want to show you something. Show me what? Yesterday, Alan taught me how to make this wisp. Well, he tried to. I actually can't make it myself. But he showed me something really interesting. What are you talking about? This little light here. Turn the area left and right, then there's eyes and glance between me and Alan. Is this some kind of trick? No, Well, he asked the question made me realize he was confused and not trying to be stiff-necked. On a hunch, I commanded the torch to bob up and down, not too fast, but fast enough to be distracting. His eyes were never drawn to it. Can't you see it? Shrugged his shoulders and shook his head slightly. What am I supposed to see? You going mad, Alex? Or am I going mad? You can't see it. Of course he can't. Jimzar is the watchman. To him, the wisp doesn't exist because the light is unable to reach his eyes. What do you mean? Do you remember me locked up in that shell in chariot? There were 2 flower pots, the one with blue flowers. Yes, you said those things stop magic. It's called the ether. That was it. It's called etherlane. If you held one of those flowers in your hand, you won't be able to see the torch either. Why? It's not physical. Its light is not real light, but a type of magical radiance. Etherine prevents magic around itself, and it also stops the light from passing. So that's why you can't see it. You have a blue flower on you. Not the flower part. Jim Sar went to pick up mug, which had been laying on the stones by the smoking remains of the campfire. I drink this every morning. Looked inside and saw a murky mixture of green and black grains and fragments which coated the cup's bottom and lip. A tannic and earthy scent. Green tea? Yeah, ethylene tea made from dried leaves. What does it do? Not what the plant does, it prevents magic. She got my almost expected me to sip. Don't drink it. Why not? You won't be able to use magic for a while, a few days at least. And it'll make you sick. Right, I almost forgot. Ethylene is toxic. Then how come you can drink it? I built up an immunity to it. It's something we do in training. It takes about a year of taking in small doses until you're able to drink without feeling ill. Benefit is worth it, though. You mean... Ethylene makes every watchman immune to magic. Your spells are useless against us. Silver and water seems so much more dangerous now. I knew ethylene was powerful, but never realized it could be so easy to wield. How can magic ever hope to prevail against such an abolishing force? The Inquisition managed to root out most predators across its domain. I guess I know why they were so successful now. Are we ready to go? Yes, we spent enough time dilly-dallying. Oh, that is fucking pretty. Oh my god. Road ahead was kind to us. A little ways over the horizon, we stumbled upon a small river where we filled our water skins. God. A river edged the path, and we followed it further up northeast. We were led along a tall, sparse wood where the canopy shielded us from the rising sun. It was almost noon by the time the road started leading us inside the forest. Oh my god, this is even prettier. I fucking love forests. I mean, you want to ask me what a happy place is? I'd fucking say a forest, man. Because every single time I'm stressed, I imagine one. I just imagine a forest and myself reading it. And God, it's so fucking... so pretty. Several pines have been cut down, marked by stumps that dotted the area here and there. 154 that were still standing. Off left into the distance, between the trees into a narrow valley, we could spot a tiny village with its lumber mill. Didn't seem any people, so hopefully nobody saw us either. We're pretty far out of the domain, so it probably wouldn't be an issue, but it's best to be cautious either way. Hour or two later, we are still in this thin forest. Starting to feel cramped, surrounded by trees, though. Alan was confident it would arrive soon. Wish I could see the map again. The sun was still high in the sky, well past midday. Began to feel excited and anxious. We're almost there. I think we'll visit a sanctuary, a place where everyone is a Pervader like me. No more routine, no more mundane day-to-day work, but an actual world of magic. Desperately want to see it. Wonder what they'll think of me. Oh, I wonder what they'll think of Jimsar. When we get there, I'm going to have to make sure he doesn't get too stressed. He'll be out of his element, a lone watchman among Pervaders. How will that community react to his presence? Wanted to talk about it with Alan, but Jimsar would overhear us. And again, it's probably in his mind too. I'm sure it's not lost on him that a Pervader sanctuary wouldn't receive Jimsar warmly. Maybe we shouldn't tell them that Jimsar is a watchman. That's probably the safest bet. Though I wonder if Jimsar can set aside his pride for a moment to do that. If he can't keep his cool, then we'd be better off telling the truth about everything. I have to lie about how I ended up with this affliction, though. It's getting too complicated. Ah, there it is. Vale Gheryon. Fucking hell, mate. I still can't get over these hand-painted backgrounds. They're so cool. What a lovely place. It's so secluded, too, far away from any other civilization. Surrounded by hills and trees, smack dab in the middle of a pond. Refreshing to see the open sky above it. I'm starting to get sick of all the canopy blocking out the sun. A wave of solemnity washed over me. Now that we reached our destination, although the path was by no means hidden, you would have to be of strong conviction to follow it so deep in the heart of this forest. Sanctuary reminded me of the abbey back home, when my father took me and your brother on that pilgrimage outside Montesalet. Alan took a few steps forwards and turned around to face me and Jimsar. Alright, Fordimiko says no, let's establish some ground rules. I'll do most of the talking. I'll tell them what we've been through while we're here. You'll tell them everything? Yes, I think that's the best. Lies don't survive long in places like these. I wouldn't be surprised if I know the watch is looking for us. Hold on, if they know we're on the run, are you sure they're gonna sell us out? Pervaders don't sell their own, especially sanctuary folk, and especially in these thorny times. You'll find no better allies. I'm not so sure about this. No need to worry. You will not be the first watchman to arrive at their doorstep with a sigil. Sanctuaries in this region, so close domain, act as rescue missions for those who are vacant during their service in the watch. Those are deserters. Yes, perhaps you shouldn't point that hammer too hard. In any case, I'm sure the Archon will be very interested to hear about your afflictions. Finally, and this should go without saying, but do not be rude to anyone in the sanctuary. That's the surest way we're going to get kicked out. Are you on the same page? Both nodded. Jimsar had a loud sigh. God, let go of your fucking prejudice and actually be a good person for once, Jimsar, you fucking prick. Alan walked ahead of us and as we approached the water. How are we getting across? We wade through. Don't they have a bridge or something? No need to worry, the water's only waist high. I'd still rather not get wet. Alan sat down on the ground and took off his boots. Best to go barefoot. That's how they do it too? Yes. Like annoying. He didn't answer. We took off our boots as well, following Alan as he took the first step into the pond. Jimsar detached the scabbard from his belt and held it in his hands. Don't they leave the island? They go outside, of course. There's no reason one would need to sequester themselves to this small plot of land when the surrounding land is so beautiful and bountiful. It's pretty to be sure, but what else is there to find in the forest? There are several good plants to harvest around these parts. Like what? Oh, let me think. Was it mangleweed, wormstern, bithrin? I've never heard of those. You'll hear about many new things at the sanctuary. Wouldn't it make sense to build a bridge then, or at least have a rowboat? It would somewhat defeat the purpose. What purpose? Deterrence. You mean it's trying to keep people out? So the water is like a moat. Verily! It's a bit shallow for a moat. Well, it's not a traditional moat, they'll give you that, but it does its job. Doesn't look like it'll keep bandits away. It keeps pesky travelers away. Aren't we pesky travelers? Yes, but we paid their water toll. A moat does little without a wall. Not all walls are made of stone. God, this is so fucking pretty. I am just still blown away by the fact that they had someone make all these backgrounds by hand. That is a shit ton of work. We crossed onto the shore and were welcomed by a field of brilliant red flowers. Poppies, perhaps? But I wasn't sure. They looked very familiar. Flowers extended every direction, wrapping around the colony to surround it. Shook off the water at my leg before putting my boots back on. Alan and Jimstar did the same. As I stood up, a gentle wind tickled my nostrils and tickled my ears and brought the scent of light roast and cinnamon to my nostrils. I read that completely fucking wrong. Christ. Looked ahead and saw signs of locals walking by windows in between the buildings. A few of them turned their heads and noticed us, but they didn't seem too concerned. Alan stopped in front of the field. Did we enter? No, we've been noticed. Now we have for someone to greet us. With little else to do but wait, my ears perked and tuned into local sounds. I could almost hear people chatting somewhere beyond a corner, behind one of the hedges. Buzzing of beetles and ladybugs and a melange of rustling sounds permeated our surroundings. A pair of chimes rang somewhere in the sanctuary, and I heard no movement. Definitely a lived-in place. Not long after, a perky fellow came out from the main building and started walking towards us. He wore a courteous smile as he made his way through the field. Anatole? Good afternoon. Welcome to Vale, Gheryon. Guess to the read, young man. My name is Alan. Wait, this is a fucking okay. I don't know. Whatever. Gresseli Gradio too. To you, sir. Call me Anatole. Please come on in. The Archon will welcome you personally. Thank you. Wait until I have to let you know that one of my commands is to watch me in the Inquisition, that we are all Pervaders. Oh. That's over to Jimstar. Are you a cleric? No, I am a knight. I'll turn awkward and cautious. Well, may I ask what brings you here? Jimstar's situation is a bit more complicated, but he is not here on Inquisition business. I see. Very well, the Archon will decide either way. Please follow me. We were escorted through the fields. Yellowed grass beneath our feet cracked with every step. As I leaned to the side of flowers I thought were poppies, and as I did so, I felt them stick to my fingers like leeches. Flinched and pulled up my hand. What's wrong? These things are snagging. It's fine. Just keep moving, don't do anything. The field is so crawly. I feel like I was in a swamp, thick swamp with all sorts of things hidden beneath the surface. I wanted to get away from it as quickly as possible. Now I realized the plants were scratching at my clothes as well. The hell are these things? Quick and paced as you escape that flower trap. This way. We followed Anatole as he entered the main building. Oh my god, how many did they do? This is so cool. Inside was a large hallway with several tables arranged along its length like a mess hall or place of study. A warm and bitter scent permeated the air as if some kind of brewing process took place shortly before he arrived. The boy was sleeping on the floor with a broom in the corner beyond the counter, paying us no mind as we traversed the corridor. Oh, this is so neat. Oh, Serpentine triangles. Yay. Those are, fractals. Passing the doorway. Whoa. What the hell? Is he doing some kind of fucking, really advanced physics or some shit here? What? Passing the doorway, arrived in a large room. It reminded me of Alan's Antiquarium. This place was a bit tidier, however. Beyond the desk were a few bookshelves being perused by a man. Winter. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, our guests have arrived. Thank you for bringing them here, Anatole. Pervader nodded and went to pull a few chairs from the wall forwards. My name is Vinter, and I am the Archon in this sanctuary. Gestalied, Archon. I am Alan, and these are my companions, Jimsar and Alex. Ah, welcome. You been at the Vale before? You mean the Vale of Aaron or Vale Garaz? Because, yeah. Many years ago, and I was still their age. Lovely. Allow me to extend a gracious welcome to you all and offer you sanctuary. And please call me Vinter. Thank you, Vinter. Would you care for some tea? That would be kind. Archon turned toward Anatole. Would you ask Aunt Jam to brew something for us? Of course, but, Yes, what is it, lad? I mentioned to Anatole that Jimstar is the watchman. Really? That's curious. Trying to look at Jimstar, whose manner of dressing weapons struck out his belt, made him stick out. Step forward, young man. Jimstar is closer. Hi, Ma, you look like quite the fighter. Strong arms, stern look, firm posture. Geared up and ready for action, moans notice. Well, if I didn't know any better, I was afraid you'd leap like some demon. Am I correct, sir? I try not to let my guard down. Of course, a special place like this. Old wounds make for ungodly bitters. You wear them well as any pervader. And waited, though Jimstar said nothing more. Silence lingered long enough for the afternoon birdsong to permeate the air. I'm sure you well know that Tributariat closes its doors to the Inquisition and its silver and watch. We do things differently here in the Vale. You are seeking shelter, I grant without prejudice. You'll be given rooms and food and our goodwill if you so desire. All I ask is that you respect our ways and not abuse our benevolence. Thank you. As Archon of this settlement, it is my duty to ensure that Vale Gheryon remains a bastion of concord, free of malice. That is the purpose of sanctuaries. You've right a pervader who has earned our trust in the past. For he trusts in you, I must trust in you as well. Our rules are simple. Do not cause trouble with any of the folk in the sanctuary. Be kind, you'll be received in kind. I also never wish to see your weapon out of its leather. Bare weapons are an ill sight among us. It is a cruel reminder of an impropriety we've all worked to erase from our lives. If you wish to practice swordplay, you may do so in the forest. Fair enough. Good. Wise. Jimstar here is not here as the watchman. Oh, then in what capacity are you here? Jimstar is a sigil. Ah, I see. Many years ago, a lost boy, more than yourself, hungry, bruised, and weary from travel, arrived at our doorstep seeking shelter. Claimed to have run away from home and he was afraid that the watch would get to him, that his parents thought ill of magic. Young Pervader with nowhere else to go. Gave him food and bed, and we taught him the ways of the sigil. He became one of us. Took him years to muster the courage to say that he'd been a watchman. He was terrified that we abandoned him once the truth came out, but that is not our way. Instead, he found more love. Now, more than a decade later, he has grown a formidable mithril, an arcanist of the Tributariat itself. I know things might seem bleak right now, but you needn't worry. We will show you a brighter future. You are very kind, Archon, but Jimstar did not awaken. Archon glanced between Alan and Jimstar, wrinkling his brow. Not awaken? What do you mean he did not awaken? There's some other means of gaining the sigil? I know it must seem strange, I could hardly believe it myself at first. But that is not why we're here. Both of these boys have been afflicted with some kind of curse, and I fear that it is deadly. This affliction came with their sigils, and Jimstar is the son of the Marshal of the Watch. The Archon's eyes flared. He looked over us as if taking in a new scene. You may go and fetch the tea, Ani. I think we'll be in need of it. Anatole then hurried away. I am listening, friends. Three of us gathered chairs around the desk while the Archon sunk in his own, resting his chin on a fist. Anatole came back shortly with a wooden tray filled with teacups. He served each of us and afterwards took a seat next to the Archon. Jesus Christ. stupid fucking pen. I keep falling down. For the rest of the afternoon, the two of them listened to our story. Alan did most of the talking. Hearing it all over again made me dizzy. Every day I pushed back against this dark mood by focusing my attention elsewhere and blurting magic, yet it always comes back. As Alan spoke, I began to drift off, thinking of less unpleasant things, wishing I could focus on my own meditations. So did my sigil and my scars, the pulsing blue tendril rooted on my chest, spreading away from the center. Grown an inch or two since we left Sherrod, I noticed. Felt sick looking at it again, but I had to show them. Eventually our cups ran dry, and little else needed to be said. Alan had answered all of the Archon's questions. We all sat in silence. Nanny, go fetch us some more tea. The young Pervader ambled away, a little bit grayer than before. How much time do you have? I can't be too sure, maybe weeks. Jimstar and Alex was struck only once. The other Watchmen had multiple wounds and that accelerated the affliction. But we cannot waste time. I understand. Regretfully, I do not have any expertise in Negantis to share. I thought that was a friend of the Seekers. It was, many years ago. The previous Archon was a Seeker himself. Our library has many books in Negantis which you are free to peruse. Think to it. Is there anyone else in this thing so that might have knowledge? Not that I know of, although you may ask around. Ah, there is a young man, a friend of the sanctuary visit occasion, who is quite passionate about Naganti lore. I'm sure he'd have something to say. He said he should visit soon. Perhaps, if fortune finds you, he might turn up before you decide to leave. We cannot stay here too long. Our best bet is to find the dagger. Let's get to it, then. Stood up suddenly with youthful springiness. Archon? I'm not going to sit idly by while you work on this by your lonesome. My mind is on your task, and we will work together. Thank you so much, Archon. Please, dear friend, I told you to call me Winter. Where's Winter? We all headed towards the hall. Jimstar stumbled into Anatole on the way out. Sorry. It's alright. Jimstar strode down the hall ahead of us. Where's he off to? Never a bad idea to get some fresh air. You're supposed to go to the library. Says who? You said so. I said I will be going to the library, and Winter will be joining me. Are you saying I'm not allowed to come? I have a more important task for you. I want you to keep an eye on Jimstar. He won't feel right in a place like this by himself. Do you think he'll cause trouble? Not willingly, no, but I believe he is easy to frustrate. Do your best and check up on him every once in a while, will you? Okay, I'll stay with him. Don't guard him, that might make it worse. Secondly, I want you to spend some time learning magic in this sanctuary. My friend, I've reached the library. There's much to look over, shall we? In a moment, thank you, Winter. May I ask, are there any elementary magic classes in the Vale? Alex was very keen to learn and very starved for proper education. Surely. Annie, called out to Anatole, who popped out the door a few moments later. Annie, would you show Alex around the sanctuary and help him attend Raymond's elementary class? Of course, Master. Alan gave me a confident nod as he walked away with Winter, leaving me alone in the hall with this smiling puffball. Felt a bit ill at ease that Alan refused my help, though I can hardly blame him. He knows all too well that reading's not my sharpest skill. Probably in the way, rather contribute anything. Yeah, it's gonna complain too much, at least I could learn more about powers. Now that I consider these things, our companion's waiting. Come on, I'll show you around. Follow him outside, make him a stroll around the sanctuary. Valgaron is pretty small, but there's lots to see. Thanks, I'm Alex, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Alex. I didn't want to interrupt earlier, but mercy, you've got quite a story. Don't worry, though, I'm sure the Archon will help you find what your master's looking for. My master? Do you mean Alan? Oh, I'm sorry, I assume... Silly me, apprenticeship would be the last thing in your mind. Can't say that was anywhere close to my thoughts. What do you do as an apprentice? It's just like any other trade, really. Masters need help with all sorts of things, and you get to learn by assisting them. Spend a lot of time with our kind Winter, help with the studies, preparations, keeping the studio clean, delivering his messages, bringing him food. It teaches me a lot, too. You know, there are certain things you only ever learn being close to those who are talented. I really like to be his apprentice. What kind of messages do you chew? Oh, lots of things. stopped to face me and extended his arm forward, showing me his paw. I wiggled his finger a moment, then returned his hand, palm facing upwards, and fingers drawn away as if he was holding an egg. Then I realized that he was showing me his claws, which indeed looked different. They were very sharp and even. Wow, you take very good care of your claws. I do, look at this. Dick stepped closer and extended the index finger. As I observed it, I began to notice a translucent quality to his claw. The light of the sun bounced off in spectacular manner as if they were gems. The light shone through it just a little bit, but there was a shift of color on the bottom edge. It was a chromatic melody all at once. The natural bony cream of his claw, the blue and amber play of the evening sky, and a vivid green reflected off a nearby bush. He seemed quite proud to show me. That's some kind of paint? No, my claws are without blemish, so I was not born like this. Tomorrow they will look the same, and 10 years from now they won't change. Well, unless I want them to look different. Probably change them in a week, but I like how they are right now. You see, my claws look like this through magic. The Archon started teaching me elasticity this year, and which is the kind of magic that makes changes to your body. Like making your fur a darker shade, or making your whiskers longer. You can even make yourself taller, but that's a bit too complicated right now. Learned to do this just a few days ago. Stares deeply at his own handiwork. Oh, thank you. Alan told me that different sigils determine different powers which you can use as what was it? Elazatry. And you're right, not every Pervader can learn every function just as easily. In my case, my sigil is an affinity for that kind of magic, so I was able to learn it without much trouble. Well, I still have a lot to learn. What kind of sigil do you have? His mom looked away, chuckling. Maybe I'll show you some other time. We should keep going. Archon Venture will cross me if I don't get you to elementary class soon. God, this is so cool. All these different fucking backgrounds, man. We walked around the main building, a small park surrounding a small tree lay in the middle of the settlement. There was a throne carved to the oak's base. I was tempted to walk towards it and take a seat, though I realized it wouldn't be proper. Quiet, save for a few gossipy mutterings from a couple of students sitting at the far bench. I turned to notice us, so I didn't hold their attention more than a moment. No sight of Jimisar yet. That's the one on the left of the old building. There's a workshop on the ground floor, and there's chambers upstairs for students. On the right is the new building. That's where most of the studios are, and where the Mithrils teach classes and work on their projects. Looked around things Anatole pointed out, though I would often look back at the tree. Ah, you're wondering about the oak. Never seen one carved like that. Is it okay? Oh yes, we take good care of it. It's an old thing, back from when Gheryon was still being built. The Archon made it to commemorate the sanctuary's founding. We use it sometimes. During celebrations or events, the Archon sits in on it and gives a speech. Can anyone else sit in it? If you got a bum, sure. Just a chair. You don't have to be royalty or get express permission from any Archon or anything like that. You want to try it out? Although I was tempted, I decided it'd be better not to act like a stranger. Another time, we should get elementary class. Ryan almost forgot. This way. On days like this, many lectures are being held outside. I think Mithril Ryman should be around the corner here. We circled around the oak between the buildings to each other side of the sanctuary. Fucking hell, wow. It's pretty. Yet another strange tree. It casts a heavy shadow on the ground, its trunks arced downwards, allowing the canopy to collapse to the ground into bushy pillars. A few students were sitting attendance to a speaker. Anatole leaned in to whisper. His lecture's almost over. We'll sit in and catch the end of it. Anatole and I huddled into the last few chairs available, farthest away from the Mithril. The speaker noticed as we continued his lecture without interruption. While this I mean to say, and I will end on this note, are many directions we can explore in this world, and I consider our joint purpose to be explorers. I do not mean to be precise, whether you decide to pursue magic, or a study of the physical world, or a study of arts, or a politics or religion. In whichever path you decide for yourselves, my aim is to use the lens of magic to give you the tools necessary to be good explorers. And in that way, we will gradually make sense of this tremendous world of complexities and patterns. It's tough, but it's beautiful, and it'll get more beautiful from here on out. Thank you. Students stood up and hurried away at juvenile pace. Anatole and I approached the lecturer. Excuse me, Mr. Ryman. Anatole, if you're here to freshen up your basics, I'm afraid you're a little late. No, Mithril, you know me better than that. The Ark can whip me into shape if I fail my fundamentals. This is Alex, one of our new guests. Hello, sir. Lovely to meet you, Alex. Finshad Ramen, a Mithril of the Sanctuary. Shook my hand and gave me the same kind of smile that I'd come to accept from Alan. Oh, you intend to become a new student? No, Mithril. He and a couple other people are staying with us for a little while. The Archon is helping one of our guests with some research. But Alex is new to magic and he would love to learn more. The Archon thought your class would be a wonderful fit. Then feel free to join us tomorrow. I hold most of my lectures out here while the summer lets us. If you need any help, I'll be happy to give you counsel. Come by early tomorrow. Thank you, sir. And I'll be sure he doesn't miss it. Well, thank you for coming. If you'll excuse me, I need to check in on my studio. Show Alex around the place you want, so don't readjust the branch panel. I'll need it tomorrow. I couldn't even have wanted to, Mithril. Alright, stay safe. Mithril walked towards the sanctuary, leaving us. Just so you know, we don't really use sir around these parts. Oh, sorry. I just stick out as a southerner. Didn't offend him, did I? No, not at all. He'll get used to it anyway. How should I refer to him? Just by name is fine, or by title. You mean Mithril? That would be best. We returned to the sanctuary, and Anatole showed me some of the workshops and studios the students use to learn and experiment with their magic. Students do most of their tasks in the morning, while the afternoon is devoted to leisure and personal work. Not more people were hanging out in the park or lounging in the hall at this hour. Later, we went to the library upstairs to check on Alan and Vinter, although they were not there. Looked out the window and saw some of the students playing with their magic out in the red field below. A boy yet much younger than me, he weaved a fantastic show of spiraling numbers in the air. Another weaved his hands to conjure a spell and not see anything flash. My nostrils flared as a thick scent of roasted meat came from somewhere below, reminding me of hunger. Anatole told me they would serve dinner and we should get ready. Bumped into the bottom of the stairs. So there you are, finished your tour? I think that about covers it. You haven't seen Jimstar, have you? Shook my head. Told you to keep an eye on him. Not sure where he could have gone, though. We've been all over the island. One of my students said they saw your friend crossing the pond earlier. Oh no, I hope he didn't leave. Apparently he was practicing his swordplay out there in the wood. Hope he doesn't feel too shy among us. We want all our guests to feel welcome, regardless of if they're of the watch. Why don't check up on him? We'll be serving dinner soon. It would be a shame if you missed it. No worry, we'll bring him back. Anatole followed me as I walked through the field once more, feeling the flowers snagging on my clothes at every step. Searched the water, I could spot that familiar figure between the woods. He was swinging his sword around like I'd seen him do back in Miriam, although only without a dummy this time. Oh, he's practicing. Hope we are never in need of his fighting skills. I tried waving at him, but I wasn't sure if he saw me out of the corner of his eye. Hey! And yelled at Jimstar, ignored the call, though I'm sure he heard it. Angela, you can let me talk to him alone. Oh, of course. Is he okay, though? He's fine, just very focused. Go back to Alan and tell him Jimstar and I'll join you soon. Alright. Took out my boots and started wading to the pond once more. Jimstar turned towards me when I reached the middle. Alex? Waited me till I landed. Hey, I want to see what you're up to. Raised his eyebrows at me. Did you now? Just practicing. I wouldn't have done it on the island, but your Archon can't seem to handle the sight of a sword in this land. He's not my Archon. Sit down and train watch me go back to swinging his sword. Is this what we've been doing all day? Not much else to do. Started slashing to the air, advancing forward as he thrusts, cuts left, then cuts right. It's almost like a dance. Anatole showed me around the sanctuary. It's a pretty nice place. Just a big tree behind the other buildings? I didn't. Should have gone with us. I'd rather not. Are you always this shy? Cautious, okay? Sword back in its scabbard. This place gives me the creeps. I know you're enjoying yourself luring with not having to bring your own kind, but I can't be like you. I'm sleeping out here until ready to go. Jimstar, don't be daft. Nobody's going to harm you. It's a sanctuary. I didn't see the looks I got from those people. They clearly don't want me here. Looks are not evil. Have you considered they might be more afraid of you instead of the other way around? Besides, Alan would never taken us here if he thought you'd be in danger. Maybe so, but not sure of Alan's good judgment. If you keep acting this way, it might make things worse for yourself. Walked over, stood across from me, leaned against the other tree. A streak of sweat fell down the side of his face. I hate this. I don't want to be here. Mercy. It's just for a few days. I know, but I still feel wrong. Jim Sar, do you trust me? Gives me a droll smile. More than anyone else I've seen today. Be serious. I am, though. I trust you enough. What's on your mind? Can you make do without your sword prize for a few days? If I wanted to, why? Tomorrow I'm going to be taking a class on magic. You should come with me. I don't want to learn magic. I couldn't even use magic if I wanted to. I drink Ethereal tea, remember? If you're sitting with me, people will see you. They'll realize that you're not a threat and you just want to learn more. You might even learn something new about magic, something you can use. If you show them that you're willing to listen, then they'll think better of you and of Watchmen in general. It's an opportunity to make a good impression. Oh, mercy, a cultural exchange. I did not train for this. Everyone will feel better about it, and then we can just leave in peace once Alan is done with his research. Won't you please make an effort? Or I could just stay here. You know that's the worst idea. He sighed. Fine. But why did you ask me not to do any sword practice? Well, you heard what the Archon said. They don't like weapons. If they see you with a weapon, they'll think you're too threatening. I just put it away while we're here. I'm not going anywhere without my sword. The Knight of the Silver Watch, I'm nothing but my weapon. All these guys can snap their fingers and cause all sorts of disaster. Why do I expect to walk around disarmed? Out of the question, my sword stays with me at all times. Alright, just can you stop coming out here and swinging around? Not hurting anybody. But it sticks out. Someone saw what you were doing, and you know they don't like weapons. Grimsar shook his head and kicked at the dirt. No wonder these folk run away in places like this. You think every person with a weapon is a murderer. But I won't come out here anymore. Thank you. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, though. We'll figure it out. They said dinner's almost ready. Want to grab something to eat? Turn and lean against the tree again. Maybe later. They might get upset if you don't break bread with them. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. They probably don't want me here either. Archon seem to be very welcoming. He's much too trusting for his own good. What's that supposed to mean? If I was in his shoes, I wouldn't allow myself in. And with the Inquisition, I could be spying. Spying on what? They're just purveyors living out in the middle of the forest. Sure, here will be interested. You might even scoped out this place already. Did you know about this sanctuary? I knew of it, though I didn't know its exact location. Most of the sanctuaries are dotted down on their maps. The Archon asked me to get you. There's no way out of this. He sighed. Fine. God, stop your fucking judgmental asshole fucking act. God. Fucking... I really do not like that at all. Okay, so, I'm gonna end the video here, because it's, you know, it's sort of the other ones, but who gives a fucking shit? It is now 7:26, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Thanks for watching, fucker.